Chris is. He'll introduce himself too. So,
Well,
are we live?
well,
Wait. Okay, I'm switching over to the display. Okay, we are here. All right, so we are live right now. Cool. So, folks, what's up? Actually, Suraj was just talking. Actually, since it's on the screen like this, let me just start from the top left. Let me just start with Alan again. So we're gonna introduce our panelists. Some other people may be dropping in. I'm gonna start with Alan right quick. Alan, why don't you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, my name is Alan Bell. I have a YouTube channel, Trotsky or Bust. I haven't done that in quite a while. My hair's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So anyhow, yeah, and I've known Ed now for quite a few years now, and yeah, that's about it.
Cool. Okay. And Suraj, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
yeah, hi, my name is Suraj Jaswal. I live and work in New York City as an environmental consultant.
Cool. Yeah. He's also politically active. Yeah. Libertarian, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool, man. Christopher, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Christopher Leon Johnson here. So I just came from Astoria, helping out Campbell City Council, general election right now. I do political media. I do a lot of political media. I'm all over the city. I'm all over the place. Thanks for having me on, DJ. So, by the way, guys, we have a show every Sunday morning or nighttime. I might be busy, I don't know, but we do it every Sunday, live, and I'm looking forward to the panel.
Yeah.
Really do. Thanks for inviting me on. By the way, brother, really do.
Every Sunday we talk about local New York City politics, maybe even beyond sometimes. And it's a good show. This weekend we're going to be talking about the results, the surprising results from the New York City Council race. Ooh, that's going to be a good show. But today
Juicy.
we're talking about affirmative action. Now, apparently, the Supreme Court just ruled that affirmative action is being ended in schools. So, oh my goodness, right? I have my own things I want to say about that, but I want to hear. Whoa, okay. I have my notes that just flashed on your faces. Hold up, moved it to the side. Do want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this? Oh my goodness, it seems pretty big.
Well, my views have developed over the years, and considering the diversity in this country and the obstacles people have to go through, I believe race could be and should be a factor in admissions just to reflect the society. And I don't think it was negatively affecting Asian Americans as the lawsuit or people supporting that said. There are enough opportunities for everybody in this country, and I think some sort of affirmative action is necessary.
That's interesting. What about now? You went to school here in the states, some of it, or you went to school in India. What was your experience
Right.
like? Yeah,
I did graduate degree here, Masters of Business Administration in Finance.
cool. And you have kids right now in the U.S. school system.
Yes.
No, on and off. Sometimes they do attend in New York City schools. Sometimes they are in India.
Hey, it's cool to see that you have such a different, you get to see different systems and stuff like that. It's cool that you have the international perspective. I really value that. We really don't get to learn about that in school. We don't get to learn about how other countries have their systems and compare and contrast and see, what the best solutions are. Honestly, there's a lot of different perspectives on how this lines up. Um, what about you? What about you, Alan? What do you think about this whole affirmative action thing?
Real quick, do do the video that I want to do it. I got to get off my ass and do it. I plan to. It's called. I'm going to call it distraction, and I'm going to talk about a lot about the media, how the media pits us against each other. Are we on?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Go ahead, man. You taking all my words from me, but I ain't mad. Go
I'm
ahead, Alan.
sorry, man.
I
Sorry,
like it.
bro.
I like it. Go ahead.
Okay. Is the media is pitting us one against the other. And real quick to explain, one of the schools in the case today was Harvard. I'm just checking online. The average income of a Harvard parent is $174,000. So I am for affirmative action if it is based on income and not race. Because the way it's structured now is so black kids or minority kids from wealthy parents are the ones who are getting in, right? That's who it's based on. I did another real quick, just uh, this is the affirmative action, the real affirmative action that I'd like to see. Like right now, inner city schools, get $2,100 per student less than suburban schools, $4,000 per student less than rural schools. That's the I guessed about suburban, but the rural part is what struck me. Another quick statistics: non-white students inside big cities receive on average $1,321 less than white students. So the real affirmative action, in my belief, should be based on income and not race. And it has to be tackled before even university. It's not about Harvard. Very few people are going to get into Harvard. You got to do it when they're in public school, high school. You got to spend equally on all students, and that's something the media never talks about.
You said quite a few things there. I really liked a lot of things that you said there. You definitely pulled in an interesting perspective there. Chris, what's your take on this situation?
All right, so guys, I'm here right now. This came, like I said, came to Astoria, eating my food, a little hungry, so sorry I could be on the screen. My introduction. So, like I said, this is my feeling about affirmative action, right? I mean, it might be controversial. It might be real heated. I don't know, but I think it was good that this been struck down by the government, by SCOTUS, and I'm gonna explain why. Because what's going on in America is a lot of woke shit that's going on with affirmative action. It's a lot of woke shit. What usually happens is affirmative action really means that if it's like a job, right? Mainly this deal with schools because it's about the schooling system, right? But the thing with schools, right, especially with the higher education, that's higher education means colleges. Now the law with affirmative action is technically every school have to hire like a quota of minorities to get into every college, especially the big time college like the Ivy League, like Harvard, Columbia, Dartmouth, and Yale. And but the MIT, thing was schools, big time schools. Now, what happened with affirmative action, and this is the issue, is with the Asians they were complaining about, like Yatung Chu, who was part of the Asian Wave Alliance. The reason they was complaining because Asians are considered in the United States a minority. There's a number of people that consider minority: Asians, blacks, Latinos, and mainly Asians, Black, Latinos, and Jewish people are considered minorities. Now, what happens with the whole minority thing is there's a big thing of schools picking the black of African Americans more than everybody else. They will always use affirmative action to bring in an African American over everybody else. Now, what happens with the reason the Asians were complaining as much as they're minority is because they spend a lot of money, thousands of dollars for SAT training programs and SAT training classes, thousands of dollars. If you go to Queens or any area in Brooklyn where there's a big Asian population, mainly more like a Muslim, like Bangladeshi, Indian population, what happens with them is they spend a lot of money. You look at the papers, go pick up their papers, and you see it's like advertisements after advertisements of people teaching kids like, hey, we'll pay like you pay the for SAT training. Now, how would it feel? You pay all this money for SAT training, and you get about the highest score in the SAT test or highest score enough to get into Yale, but then it find out like Yale can't accept you because they got to let some black kid who scores 600 on the SAT. But that's affirmative action. Mainly, it's legalized racism affirmative action is basically legalized racism to just let the black kids in, to let the blacks, African Americans, more than everybody else. It's just a legalized racist way to bring in all the African Americans into the top to all the colleges, even if they do abysmal on the test. It's like technically it's like save like DJ, you score 90 on the test, I score 65 on the test. I score 55, I fail, but the law says that once you got your 90 DJ, okay, the school had to let me in because I scored 55 because I'm black. Well, but that's basically
actually, I can comment on some of this stuff, but go ahead. But I was actually in those situations. So the thing is that when I was I was a pretty good student, I was okay, and when I was in those gifted classes or like things like that, or those advanced programs, the blacks there were actually very competitive. They were very good.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know about Nigerians actually.
They are.
They are really known for their strong work ethic, and they are
Yep.
whoa dang, they are beastly
Mhm.
out there. You know, what I mean, you got to respect what they're
That's it.
achieving. So like within the blacks, they do have factions that are doing different things, right? Some of them are Haitians are really struggling right now. You know what I mean? I feel for
Oh
them.
yeah,
That my
Haitians.
heart goes out to them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have different factions, but I really like what Alan said, as in terms of understanding the class difference, and the fact of the matter is that, let's be real, they're going to pass this law and things aren't going to change for Asians because this is the way the discrimination happens now. The kids on paper, right? They don't identify as Asian, so everything's looking good. Then they come in for the interview. Then the interviewee sees their face and says, this person's not a leader. They don't feel like they're very original. You know what I mean? And they say they're kind of cookie cutter, and that's where the discrimination happens. So, what's the affirmative action? And here's another horrible one more fact, right? Yeah, the thing is that these schools, they take in these international students, and I like the international students, but the thing is that they pay 4 to 5 times the regular tuition because they're international. So the school's making
Mhm.
boatloads of cash on them. And then the
Mhm.
thing is that because they have Asians, right? Yeah, that they imported from other countries, Asian Americans now find themselves difficulty getting in because this campus already looks too Asian. You get what I mean? Can you
Yeah.
imagine that happening to yourself? It really sucks. It's horrible, yeah? It's disgusting. So it's gonna still continue on because there's just too much. There's also money at play to have this factor continue on. You get what I mean? So they're
Yeah.
gonna say blah blah blah. Alan's right. There's a. I feel like it's a manufactured narrative. I predict that the racism will continue, and also one more thing I just want to add to is that affirmative action in education. Let's take a look at when we look at basketball, we see that African Americans are very well represented there. Do we say there's too many of them? Do we say they're
No.
overrepresented? Are we helping out Asian Americans get represented in that particular field or other fields where Asian Americans are underrepresented? No. So, actually the number one beneficiary of affirmative action is actually white girls, and actually a lot of them are rich white girls. And I was in Hunter College, amazed to watch these rich white girls getting opportunities that I couldn't get. You know what I mean? Because I was, and even though I'm a minority, I'm not an underrepresented minority. That's their
Yeah.
term, so that I don't qualify. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is
That's how I
disgusting.
feel about it. So, but also I feel like school is actually, I feel like it is a distraction. I feel like the real issue is the high price of school. And I think it's criminal that we're charging these kids so much. I swear to God, I swear to God, I did, you know, you could watch YouTube and learn all this stuff. Harvard lectures are available online. And the thing is, they make these kids buy books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wasteful. When they could
It
have
is.
everybody
It's-
watch the same lecture from Harvard, or maybe different levels, right? Yeah, and really standardize it and just cut the costs way down.
No, I agree. They should do that, but they won't.
I'm gonna
They,
charge them money for being stupid. How about that? They could charge me money for this tuition. I'm charging money for being stupid. I'm collecting too. Anyways, yeah. So what about so what do you guys feel like is the solution to really address this kind of are you guys so Suraj feels like and I do agree with Suraj, right? I do feel like it's okay for there to be some factors, right? Yeah, I like also what Alan said, right? Also bringing in the factors of class as well. And but I think it's bad to put a ceiling on anybody too. So I
Mhm.
just don't really, I'm just not so unsatisfied with the educational system in general. It just I don't think it's a good deal.
well, the solution is something they'll never do. It's what you just said. It'd be very easy to educate people. I mean, we have access to information that the world has never seen, and it's only getting better. Yet, for some reason, tuition is getting higher. It makes no sense at all, other than that it's the label. Hey, I got a Harvard degree, but you can educate. You don't even need an education today. Everything is at your fingertips.
What
So it's
what makes a degree worth anything? government certification. You get what I mean? So the fact of the matter is just a big hustle, and then they just started getting more crazy about the money. And they're using for real estate deals, they're using for all kinds of corrupt stuff. We need to just cut it all out, cut that administration, which is ridiculous, the bureaucracy, and just,
Well, the purpose of a degree now is what it always was. It's to keep people out, right? It's like, let's say 50 years ago, very few people had degrees. So a lot of jobs required you to have a degree, even though your degree didn't come into play. It's just that the fact that only the very few rich people can get a degree, and therefore they would get the best jobs. It really hasn't changed when you think about like a lot of Ivy League schools. Same thing, if the average parent makes 175,000, an Ivy League degree means something today, but it just means that you're in a certain class, and it's like a old boys, even though there are girls included in it. But it's just that type of old boys system. That's all it is.
It feels like a lot of stuff is happening really fast, right? Like this affirmative action thing, then recently there was the abortion thing. It seems like so many things are just like drastic changes, but it doesn't seem like people really like were talking about it. It's just like all of a sudden these things are just coming out and hitting.
Yeah.
I don't think the average person is affected by these things.
I think a lot of this stuff will just continue on as it was. Anyways, what do you think that this affirmative action ruling will maybe move to other things? You think they'll start cutting out affirmative action in other places?
Yeah, but with job hiring, I think they will start doing that with job hirings. I think people should be hired. I think people should be hired on merit, not because of their race. And that's all about these days. I believe in hiring people on merit,
But there's
not
also
because
the
of race.
optics thing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
the optics too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hire that token person. All right, get to have that one black person in there, or that one Latino person, just to pee people. I don't like it. It's just horrible.
They want
I
that
rather
market too.
I rather have people earn the job than just try to get handed something because of their skin color. That's my theory. That's my thing.
All right, guys. So what do you think about the? You think it's okay just like leave it as it is? I'm not really. Well, I have to see how this works out too. I wonder if this is really going to affect the numbers. Like I said before, I think they're still going to discriminate against Asians.
Probably.
Yeah, they always go discriminate against Asians. It's just like that.
Yeah. There's no Asian American, even like progressive media producers. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it does make sense actually. It's just a lie. Anyways, also another thing is that traditionally when there's this kind of like potential like racial pitting of white versus black, a lot of times Asians are trying to be thrust into the middle of it to try to be like the targets. This was done during the during the Rodney King incidents, right? Because there was like a lot of tension between blacks and whites. So they started running commercials on TV about how Koreans were the problem, or how Koreans were having problems with blacks. They started magnifying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So, you guys think there's anything we can do about it, or you guys just? I guess that's it then.
What you mean?
Oh, you know who's Phil Wong is coming in. I think he's also he's a Republican, so he'll probably be happy about just knowing him. You know Phil, right?
I know Phil.
Yeah, I could predict that he's going to be happy that affirmative action is gone. I saw Bernard, what's his name, Lester Chang. Lester Chang's actually our Republican state district assembly member. They're kind of like teamed up, right? Yeah, him and Bernard Chow and Ying. Oh, what about Ying Ying Tan? Yeah, I think she commented on this as well. Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, man?
Huh?
You think anything that we could? You think anything? You're happy about the affirmative action being gone, right? Yeah. That's cool. I could see a good reason to, address some. I think there is some inequity that I think it is hurting Asian Americans.
I
I don't
mean,
think going to
but
school is a good idea. Go ahead.
question is this gonna really be implemented, or are colleges gonna find work around it?
I'd like to see Asian Americans make their own schools. Like you know how black people have like the historically black colleges. Yeah. If they're gonna be
Hmm.
discriminating against us, we should just make our own schools. We definitely have the technical expertise and the you know the credentials to do it. We could do whatever we want and make it lower price. This is ridiculous. It's a scam.
Well, yeah, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Yo, this whole
Try to
thing
get,
is this thing is gonna cause so many changes. It's gonna cause things like the standardized tests, right? Yeah. This affirmative action thing changes things at so many levels. There's like scholarship programs that are based right there. Language definitively says affirmative action. All those things are gonna have to change. You ever heard of something called EOP?
no.
No. It's called like a equal opportunity program, right? Yeah. You heard about it, Chris? A lot of kids go to college on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could consider some of those cases to be affirmative action, or they may be using those in some of the language. That's all going to have to change. It's going to be a big. It's a huge shift for the industry, actually, the educational industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Enforcement. I don't know how much money they're going to get to enforce that particular, if they're even going to.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys. So.
Is that it?
All right.
Yeah. Wait, we need
Say
solutions.
about it.
What do you mean
Yeah.
solutions? That's what you got to say. Oh, wow.
Well, affirmative action really. The fact that it's gone, to me, like people, a lot of these politicians and these candidates and stuff like want to wave their hands like they're God and like they think the world's gonna change, but really in the end, we do what we do. You know, I mean, what happens in the field isn't always what's in the book. You get what I mean? So, in the reality, it's up to us to like how we implement it. And really, like I
Hmm.
said before, I know like the society that we're living in, and let's be real. The way they discriminate against us, I just told you how the model goes, right? You can't stop that kind of racism. And watch, we'll see if the numbers go down. We're about to find out right now. Why are they even high right now? They also have erased all records of our suffering. So the fact of the matter is that we don't deserve, right? Yeah, to have like anything, right? Because we've never suffered, so someone else deserves it more. We have suffered a lot, and they've erased it. I can't believe I'm excluded from the anti-war movement. It's disgusting. I'm a force my way in. They can't stop me. You know how I do
Hmm.
it. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just announcing that. Affirmative action. It's up to you to like make your own future. Whether they say that you can do it or not, just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Affirmative action. Yeah. I'm doing affirmative action for myself. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah. So I think Suraj is that way too. Yeah. Suraj, you was gonna say something?
uh, no, I mean it's very interesting. I expected people would be against the Supreme Court decision, but looks like all of you guys seems to be happy that it's gone.
I think
No,
Yeah.
no, no, hold on.
no. I
I
wouldn't go
just
that far.
I just called it a distraction. I said that
Yeah.
to solve the problem, you got to do it at the ground level. You got to do it in public schools and high schools. You have to spend the same amount of money on that. And this issue is just designed to divide us, nothing more. That's how I view
Yeah.
it.
Suraj, man, I use this
I
crazy
know.
line. I don't know if you've ever heard it, right? Yeah, I say, look, the Asian American man, right? Yeah, since the '70s in the United States has dominated academics, right? Yeah, that's 50
Yeah.
years now, half a century. But what is our true position in the society but America's cuck? Let's be real, okay? Let's
But
be real.
America's what?
America's cuck.
Cock? What do you mean cock?
It's
That
like
means
cuckold.
like
Cuckold.
like a cuckold. Yeah, your girl is there, and some other dude sleeping with your girl in front of your face.
That's not true. You look a lot of industry, especially high
That's our
tech.
that's our position in the society. Let's be real, okay? Right? Yeah.
A lot of No, it's not true. It's not true. A lot of
Okay.
you look at a lot of high tech companies, especially in Silicon Valley. There, I mean, Jensen Huang.
There
He's
are some successful people now. It's starting to change, yeah. But like,
yeah,
you know,
it is.
this is
It
also
is.
partly true too. And the fact of the matter is that like I'm not saying it's like that's all it is, but it's definitely part of it. And the thing is that right, the reason why that happens is because we not pay attention to our children's political education. Instead of learning, to empower ourselves, we learn to make the boss rich. So if you take a look at our education, right, they don't teach us about this civic education, about politics, about this corruption shit, and about like how to actually change a government, like a county committee or things like that, right? Why is that? You learn how to like draw a line, y equals mx plus b. Yeah, okay. I mean, you're a good worker.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's just
I mean,
yeah, I feel really disappointed by the education system.
yeah, I mean, it is. I'm looking at the live chat right now. Um, she said like 12-year-old saying she's not happy that it's gone because she's saying I'm saying that LGBT rights to run the coattails behind the remove the provision. I
What
mean,
about disability rights, right? There's a lot of different
yeah,
issues here, right? Yeah, it just I don't even know if
yeah.
LGBT is a class in
12
the
years
human
correct. It
body.
is too much group under civil rights. It's not too. It's on a group of too much civil rights, but it's a lot of things that's going on with that type of stuff where they justify civil rights. like I think it's BS. I mean, they will never like let a like you can't never like they will never let pick like a LGBT person in this. You got to be a minority. That's all it's about.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think they'll be let
some
people in
actions.
because
It's not
they're
about sexual. It's
LGBTQ.
not
I
about
think
sexual.
that's
It's not about sexual preference, sexual orientation. It's
yeah,
about your race. That's all it's about.
because I don't think it's even on the question. Is it? It might be on the applications now, but I don't remember any of those questions on the application. Like, are you LGBTQ or anything like that? So
No,
I have no
never.
way of knowing really.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing with this stuff because I believe this. I believe it's election year next year, so I think they're trying to appease. They just want to get this out the way before people start attack the Trump people start attacking it. Um,
It's
you know,
distraction. That's what I feel like it. Yeah.
it's a distraction. It's not a distraction, but it's what it is. It's struck it down. It struck it down.
Yeah, it's happened. That's history right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
I never thought. It's just, hey, did this take you guys by surprise like it took me by surprise?
Yeah, they did it overnight. They did it overnight. I was surprised, like, wow, they did this like that. Like,
No,
wow.
I'm not surprised because of the makeup of the Supreme Court. That's why they got rid of abortion. Like they got rid of this. There's going to be more, and the Democrats just let it happen. I mean, the Democrats win most elections, yet they let the Republicans take over the Supreme Court. And this is just remember, Supreme Court has a lot of other decisions. A lot of them the vast majority have to do with companies and money, right? Which the media never talks about, right? Because they'll always side with the rich
You're
over
damn right.
the rest. They'll always. So the media uses cases like this, cases like abortion, and that's all the Supreme Court. That's the only thing they decide. That's nonsense.
Yeah. I even feel like it's related to the election. Like I feel like it's like all of a sudden like it's happening right around this season. Cooking the
Mm-hmm.
books, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Basically, it is.
that's how I feel. Anyways, so yeah, man. What do you think? What do you guys think is next then?
What's next? Mostly gonna be next is basically nothing. Just people gonna be rallying, trying to make money off this crap like everybody else do. Oh well, this is racist and shit like that. Just do photo op press conferences and rallies and act like that's gonna do anything, and that's it. This is what's gonna happen next. But other than that, what nothing they do. They short their decision is what it is. You just gotta live with the decision. It's messed up that it happened. People, the majority of people in the country might feel messed up, but just gotta live with it.
All right.
Just like Roe v. Wade. Like it happened and it happened.
Okay. Can I ask you guys about just so you guys heard about it's a little bit off topic, but what do you guys think about the coup that happened recently in the Russia thing? You think that's you think Putin's gonna set off the nukes?
No.
Why is that?
No, I don't.
It's over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he felt threatened, he might do it though.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
No.
scary. I don't know. Anyways,
No,
yeah.
I think the whole thing is staged. I think that um, it's like a controlled opposition type of thing, and because the guy is his crony, right? So
Mm-hmm.
he did this kind of to find out who his enemies were. I heard this thing way back. I know you guys remember Saddam used to do this, where he'd send people to the army barracks in the middle of the night, and he'd wake up officers and saying, "We're having a coup. We're going to overthrow Saddam. Are you with us?" And they put a gun at the person's head. Now, if the person says, "Yes, I'm with you," they'll kill him on the spot, right? He just wants to find out who's loyal to him. So he did. That's what I think. I have no proof of this, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I think he just staged this thing. Putin did to see which of his generals would have gone along with this guy, and none of them did, or at least, well, I think one of them may have, because apparently one of them disappeared. So I think he just did this to expose, because right now he's worried about himself. The war in Ukraine is just a side thing for him. He's
Yeah,
just
but
trying
it
to make.
also makes Kim Jong Un have a tricky, itchy trigger finger. You know,
No,
to
no
make
one's gonna. No one's gonna release a bomb, because the people with the most bomb, even though they say Russia has more bombs than ours, I guarantee you ours are better and more accurate. No one's gonna do the bomb because the United States will nuke them, so they're not gonna.
they have been whooping them. So we'll see. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Wild times, man. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, pretty much affirmative action. It's they could say whatever, they could write whatever law they want, and then the reality is something different. So it's really up to the people out there to see how this all shakes out.
Right,
So we're
right.
gonna see
But
what
like I said,
happens.
it's like it's not a major issue. Think about it; it doesn't affect a lot of people, and the people it affects are probably rich minorities to begin with,
Well, there's
right?
a wait a second. Yeah, remember there's a actually Christopher Leon Johnson kind of like the specialist in this, right? Remember there's huge amounts of these not-for-profits that are making money off of
Mm-hmm.
the identity of this affirmative action, so they're gonna fight to keep their funding, and that's like a
Yeah.
whole political game right there. So
Oh
a
yeah. Let's see.
whole cockroach swarm of the whole entire industry is gonna run out from scholarships to right to all these other things, right? Yeah, we're gonna have to see if maybe even sports teams right get involved, right? Yeah, there's a lot of money involved.
Oh yeah, a lot of money involved because
That's
they
the big thing. Yeah.
what happens with affirmative, especially when it comes to jobs, right? If you hire a certain amount of minorities, you get a lot of tax write-offs, and there's certain foundations that, especially with nonprofits, they'll give you a certain amount of money just for hiring minorities into your nonprofit. So if you're forced to go by merit, and and you start hiring, let's say, people that's not minorities into your organization, you not be able to get that foundation money. Of course, you'll get foundation money because of your work, but you really want that foundation money. It's like easy money to get from these foundations and not in other like corporations
Yeah.
to your nonprofit. If you start hiring minorities, like especially African Americans and Latinos, Asian Americans, they like technically last on the totem pole of like affirmative action hiring, but mainly
No,
we start hiring
that is
African
June.
American and Latinos, you'll get a lot of foundation funding, like a lot of credits. And if you especially submit their profiles to the donors, you'll have a better chance of getting that money from these donors and these
Yeah.
foundations, these corporations like Target, Walmart.
Here's one more thing too, right? Yeah, not only are these organizations going to get pissed off, but there's also like something called, you can look it up right now, University Diversity Officer. All these positions, right? You got a SUNY Board of Trustee appointee,
Mm-hmm.
Senior Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. That's a dude who has an office right there, who wants his office to remain.
Yeah, that's gonna be
SUNY Board of
eliminated.
Trustees, and there's like other ones all over the place. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
not but that's not
this is
about
huge
that's not but
disruption.
PR. It's not, but that's a PR. That's not but PR. A lot of times that's PR, and majority of the time they hire somebody that's black or somebody like maybe someone that's black to be in that position. It's disgusting. It's fucked up. It's nothing but a PR thing, and these positions are gonna be eliminated once it's gonna be struck. It's gonna be signed, and it's gonna be struck
We'll
because
see. You'll see.
colleges don't want to spend. They don't want to spend that money.
They're
All
at
these
risk right
colleges,
now.
they want to save money line their pocket, especially CUNY. You think
They're
that
gonna be
CEO
fighting. They're gonna be fighting.
they're gonna be a big
We'll
fight
see.
because they're gonna be a lot of jobs lost. That's
But
what it
it's a
is.
fake fight, and instead of talking about lowering the cost of the tuition, which is really helping the students, they keep the money rolling. Oh, we gotta save this. Oh, we gotta save this department. Throw the money at them. Throw the money at them. Get out of
Mm-hmm.
here. Stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be covering the story. Yeah. 12 Veils is in the chat.
Let me see what she said.
Go ahead.
What Tova said. I want to see what she said.
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
as busy.
we need critical thinking. You're right. That you said the tests they don't test for imagination and creativity, right? Most of the times they don't. They really want you to actually tell you the truth. The information is really dated because nowadays everybody has Google all the time on their phone. You know what I mean? So it really changed. Okay, the way that people need to learn information. They need to be able to learn how to access the information and where the good information is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good information is here, right here, people. I hope you subscribe. Tell your friends about this. This is a very high quality program. There's really, yeah, affirmative action. We're right in the thick of it. Yeah. So, affirmative action. Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
I kind of agree with it, like using it as a corrective force, but I also like Larry Sharp. He said it shouldn't be a permanent solution, right? Yeah, affirmative action is meant to try to, like a band-aid fix, maybe to try to correct some kind of action, but there has to be some kind of a plan for it to end, and a understanding of what the goals are there to achieve, and not move the goalposts all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Affirmative action. Anything else, really?
No,
All right.
really.
I guess that's about it, guys.
Yeah, I can't really see myself getting too involved on this one. I have other things going on that are really critical. Like I don't know if you ever got to hear about the guys that were wrongfully incarcerated. Actually,
Keith Dazzin,
yeah.
Pharrell.
Yeah, but we're gonna.
Unfortunately,
go ahead.
Unfortunately, she lost. Daniels lost to Cats.
Yeah, Cats won in a landslide.
Yeah, landslide.
Pretty high. I think it was like 80%, something.
75%.
Something. Yeah, about that. Yeah, so it was pretty good. So, I don't know if it was landslide, but it was pretty good. So, over 50 is pretty solid. So, yeah, there you go. So, congratulations. Anyways, hopefully we'll get justice on our end. We're still working on it. So, affirmative action. Oh, you know what? Would be really messed up if they said that we need to catch up white people, like the number of incarcerated in prison. So we're gonna start more of it in prison. The justice, and I know like there's a lot of people who are like saying like lock them up and stuff. I'm not mad at that, but the thing is that the numbers that we incarcerate in the United States versus other countries is really high. There might be reasons for that, like social decay and stuff, and we got to really work together with everybody else to really see how we can address these things. So I appreciate both sides of the argument towards getting to a solution. So
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
All right. One love.
You too.
All right. Thank you, bro. Take care, DJ.
I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, I might be on with Phil later.